Okay, good, sir. Thank you all for coming to my speech again. This is the last speech in my speech class, so I really appreciate everybody coming out and kind of giving me some support. Today I'm going to give you an informational speech on implications of hybrid and electric vehicles. So let's get started. So I think hybrid and electric vehicles have gained a lot of steam in the recent years. I'd say a large part due to Tesla. They kind of took the industry by storm. Everyone loves Teslas. They are the benchmark for electric vehicles, and they turn your head on them because they look so good. And other competitors such as the Toyota Prime is also coming in. They're starting to look better. I'd say when the initial rollout of hybrid and electric vehicles came, a lot of people did not like their appearance, but they're starting to improve. So today, the first thing I'll discuss is the economic benefits of switching to a hybrid or electric vehicle. I'll then talk about the environmental implications, and then I'll follow with some long-term political implications of a global switch from gasoline cars to electric and hybrid vehicles. So to get in on the economic standpoint, when you're talking miles per gallon alone and the money you would save, hybrid cars get between 48 miles per gallon to 60 miles per gallon, which is a lot higher than the gasoline counterpart, which is around 20 to 30 depending on your car, and a lot of the times it ends up being quite a bit less than that. Due to the setup of a hybrid car, when they're operating at low speeds, they tend to use their electric motor it uses a lot less energy at low speeds. And then as they get higher, they use an internal combustion engine, which has usually a higher efficiency at higher speeds. And so this is the simple layout of a hybrid vehicle. It's obviously dumbed down quite a bit. But the combination of the small, and it can be a small internal combustion engine that you would need in a solely combustion engine. So obviously when you're talking about electric vehicles, it is 100% usually AC it's typically a DC motor. And those get, obviously they don't use miles per gallon, but if you were to equate it as far as energy usage goes, it would be almost 100 miles per gallon or energy used. Another economic benefit to switching from gasoline to electric or hybrid vehicles is government rollouts and incentives have been huge. So on any hybrid or electric car, there's a possibility of saving anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 on a vehicle just because it's a hybrid. Warranties companies who offer warranties for their cars usually are higher with hybrid vehicle cars. So all the electrical components in a hybrid vehicle typically have warranties that are around 100,000 miles, which is quite a bit. And the combustion portions of it are around 36,000 miles, which is still quite a bit. Hybrid vehicles tend to also retain their value longer than non-hybrid vehicles, which can be another benefit to buying them. So those were just a few of the many economic benefits to switching from a gasoline to a hybrid or electric vehicle. I'll now talk about some of the environmental impacts, and this is probably one of the most important things when you're considering switching. So according to phys.com, switching from a gas to a electric or hybrid vehicle can reduce emissions by up to 40%. This is huge when you think about 40% per vehicle on the road. I'm not sure the exact number of all the vehicles on the road, but it's quite a bit. And a lot of people make the counter argument that the gas or the electricity that you use in those vehicles is also got from a very non-renewable energy source, such as burning fossil fuels or nuclear fusion. But the truth is, you could also get stuff from hydropower, from wind power, from solar power. So there's green alternatives to get the energy that supports these cars. According to FleetKarma.com, 3.3 million deaths last year could be attributed to air quality problems. Not saying this is the end-all solution, but this is definitely there could be a small change that could have a large impact on preventing premature deaths. Hybrid and electric vehicles also come with a regenerative braking system, so they harness the energy of the car as you're slowing down to recharge itself. Just another way the car acts as a more efficient system, which you don't find in internal combustion engines. So according to afdc.energy.gov, electricity recharging stations can be set up a lot easier and a lot more places than a gasoline plant. So you'd have to go strictly to a gasoline station to refuel with gasoline, whereas you could fuel up at your own house if you had an electric vehicle, or you could fuel up at work or in a parking garage. It's just a lot more convenient when you're looking for places to be able to recharge them. According to FT.com, the actual design of the electric motor in these two vehicles is simply more or less sophisticated than an internal combustion engine, which means there's less problems with it, which means there's less maintenance costs, which means less parts need to be produced for these vehicles, as well as electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles are typically 3 times more efficient than their internal combustion counterparts. Those are some of the environmental impacts. Finally, I'll talk about some of the long-term political implications of worldwide switch from gasoline to electric. So it can have some positive impacts on some countries, while in other countries it can be quite harmful. So the creation of infrastructure like the charging stations I was talking about will create jobs. The research done to develop new electric cars, to develop bigger batteries, more efficient engines, all that can produce jobs. You also have to look at power grid distribution, because if you were taking in an absurd amount of energy compared to what you were with internal combustion cars, then you have to build bigger power plants and such things like that. But it can also destroy companies or businesses or countries that are dependent upon fuel. So like ExxonMobil, not to say that will ruin all their products, because there's still a vast number of products that need oil to fuel them. So according to nationalinterest.org, oil-rich countries such as Russia, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, who have almost 50% of their GDP accounted for with oil production, could be hurt by this kind of switch from gasoline vehicles to electric vehicles. But this market shift could also be good for war-torn countries. So a lot of recent wars have dealt directly with oil, and so lowering the demand for oil could lower the tensions in the areas, which could decrease the amount of war. So this small change from gas cars to electric car can have resounding impacts across the world, not just with money, but with war, with relations, with a multitude of things. And so not only that, but when you switch from gasoline to electric cars, you have a whole new focus. You have a whole new research group. This requires new business partners. This could be new allies. There's a whole plethora of things that could decrease war in certain areas. So this could be a small but very important step in reducing the world's dependence upon crude oil. So in conclusion, there's many environmental, there's many economic, and there's a lot of long-term political changes that could occur if this switch were to happen. But I think that, as you can see, they're for the most part beneficial. So in conclusion of my speech, I hope that you see how such a small thing, as much as switching your car and your neighbor switching their car from a combustion engine to an electric vehicle, can have impacts as big as affecting governments and wars and things like that. So thank you all for coming.